A Buncombe County woman accused of kidnapping and obstructing justice is back on the streets. Yesterday, we first told you about Sheila York and her connection to a missing persons case in Indiana.
And today, News 13's Samir Nefsi spoke with Indiana investigators about how the kidnapping charge may solve this cold case. He's in the studio. And Samir, what have you learned?
Yeah, since 2013, investigators in Delaware County, Indiana have been stumped as to what happened to then 27-year-old Ashley Morris Mullins. Just a month after she gave birth to a baby girl, she vanished. And then her child was taken by Sheila York and her husband and then moved to Florida and then North Carolina. This is the first person to be arrested in the disappearance of Ashley Morris Mullis.
We feel like we may have a break that can potentially lead to something.
However, this break isn't in the form of new information to the disappearance.
Sheila York is a person of interest in a missing persons case.
66-year-old Sheila York, now charged with kidnapping Mullis's daughter and obstructing justice. Indiana investigators believe back in 2013, Mullis was having an affair with her landlord, Dan York, husband to Sheila. Shortly after Mullis disappeared, investigators say the Yorks fled to Florida with the then 6-month-old child. There was never a paternity test to conclusively say if York was the father.
This has been a long battle.
Ashley's father, Donald, hasn't seen his granddaughter in nearly a decade.
Glad to see that this is coming to this point, finally, after so many years. It was just devastating that, somebody that, never actually did a paternity test, had been able to get away with such a horrific crime of taking off of my grandbaby.
The mystery that stretches a decade and hundreds of interviews later, this newest development centers around Mullis's child.
She's filed multiple paperwork through the courts, through Delaware County, also through Florida and North Carolina for custody of this child.
York was charged on February 8th, but has since been released. Now, according to court records, York and the child lived at this Buncombe County home. York's landlord confirmed to News 13 off camera that York and the child lived at this address. Do you think Sheila York knows what happened to Ashley?
I'm almost certain she does. This is just the beginning of still yet seems to be a long road.
Indiana investigators are now working on getting a governor's warrant to extradite York to Indiana. As for that child, she remains in North Carolina with Child Protective Services. The family of Ashley Morris Mullis has filed paperwork to gain custody of their granddaughter. Now, anyone with information on Ashley's whereabouts is urged to contact Indiana investigators. In studio, Samir Nefsi, News 13.